This interview is with Mrs. Karen Pletcher. Karen, what do you think the best emotional environment in a classroom would be for a child?
Well, I think it's the teacher's responsibility to create that environment. And I think that it's one where students feel accepted, they feel safe, they feel comfortable, and they're able to take a risk. But I also think that each student should be valued for his or her unique interests and their culture. But I think finally, I think a teacher should try to create a democratic classroom where the students make the rules and they feel responsible for their actions. They feel and the classroom itself.
Thank you, Karen. Now I will be interviewing a parent of a local second grader at a local elementary. Bree, what do you think the best emotional environment in a classroom would be for your child?
I think a good emotional environment must be supporting and nurturing, not putting your children down when they do things wrong, but telling them ways that they can improve, constructive criticism.
Very nice, Bree. And for our second question, what do you think the best physical environment would be in a classroom for your child?
The best physical environment, I think that the room needs to be filled with things that are going to support the child's learning in any subject. I think the walls should be covered in fun and exciting things and art projects and, kids writing so they can see that what they do is important. And I also think there needs to be room for the kids to have stations that they can explore and maybe have either an inside or an outside playground so that when they need to go out to see, they can do that.
Very good idea. Thank you, Bree, for your time.
Today we're interviewing Barbara Hung. Barbara, what do you think the best emotional environment is in the classroom? Or what would be your ideal emotional environment?
Well, I think the first thing the teacher needs to establish is a trust with the students. There's a relationship of trust. So beyond you trusting me or keeping secret, we're talking about a relationship of trust. They need to feel that you can come talk to me about issues. You know that what I'm asking you to do, whether it's assignment or something extra, is all for your own good because we have a relationship of trust. And that understand that I care about you, care about your learning, care about you as a person, being responsive to being there for you. When you ask a question, when you raise your hand, understanding, you feel down today, so being responsive and be able to relate to you, to say, I know how that feels, or when you're frustrated and you don't want to do something, I know how you feel, showing that empathy and that relatedness. And the third thing is having that teaching quality. If you can say, hey, I care about you a lot, but if the teaching sucks, kids are not going to feel like there is an emotional need here to learn anything. And then finally is the way I treat students, to be fair and just, and treat them as individual human beings and separate entities.
Well, thank you. Now, how would you feel, or what would you think would be the best physical environment for a child?
Well, I just think physically is accessibility. We often think in terms of just entering the classroom, but how we set up the classroom plays a very important role. We like to hang things all around the classroom, but it could be more distracting for the kids. Do we hang those things around to make it beautiful, or do we hang it around because it enhances their learning? Do we hang things there to embarrass them or to praise them for what they did? Do they want to? Do we ever ask it, if you do well, could I put your work out, how you feel about that, and empowering them? So physical environment has a lot of empowerment. Seeing your work around, you may not feel comfortable. So to engage kids in setting up the physical environment and setting them up to be successful, rather than putting stuff all over the place on the table and they just want to touch it and be distracted, is organizing so that they are set up to be successful rather than I want to play with the pencil, I want to play with the manipulator. At the same time, you want to make things accessible for them so they can reach for it rather than, teacher, where's the glue? Teacher, where's the pencil? Teacher, where's the scissors? Is that they can actually reach for it and feel like, I can do this by myself. When teachers say independent work, I know exactly where to go to. Like for example, we see the alphabets. Teacher always hang them right on top. nobody sees them on top. Like the sight words, I just went to my kids' school, they hang on top. Kids with kindergarten, they don't look up, they look at eye level. So putting things at the eye level where it catches them, you want them to look at these words, you want them to give it access to it, is very important because it empowers them in a physical environment.
Thank you very much. Kirsten, we're here with Kirsten Brett. Kirsten, what would you say is the best physical environment for a child?
I think children need room to grow and move around and do whatever they need to do to be physically comfortable in the classroom. So I always think about my elementary school where there was really hardly any furniture. We would just go in the room, it would be big open spaces, and we'd have tables to sit and do our work, and labs around the edge of the classroom. There was all kinds of big space in the middle where people could make a circle, or teachers could just let us kind of move. And we always moved a lot. So I'm really an advocate of that great physical space and place to be socially comfortable and emotionally comfortable with the learning.